Hey everyone, here's the Nerd Boys comic blog. I'm Marco.
I'm Charles.
And today we're talking about two comics from about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. We're talking about Punisher the Platoon, number 1, and Batman White Knight, number 1.
Oh, yeah. That White Knight.
Yeah, it's an interesting story.
Very interesting.
Well, let's start off with Punisher the Platoon.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't read it. I don't know. Punisher as a character, I enjoy him, but I think I enjoy him better when he's, in something visual, like a movie or a TV series, like the Netflix Punisher, what I'm looking forward to, which I don't know if you heard, but they were supposed to release the Netflix series, right after the panel and, New York Comic Con, but because of what happened in Las Vegas,
they postponed it?
Yeah, and it's completely understandable. That's not something you want to show that. I would actually be upset with Disney/Netflix if they actually continue with that.
Yeah, but I'm really excited about Punisher, and I think this book is kind of half promoting the show, half just Garth Ennis writing a really cool Punisher year one, kind of.
Okay. Oh, okay. So that sounds kind of interesting. This was before his family was slaughtered.
Yeah, it's his first tour in Vietnam because Garth Ennis, he really likes this whole thing of Vietnam being the Punisher's origin.
Okay.
Even though a lot of people have kind of retconned it and updated the origin, made it like he was in Fallujah or he was in Kandahar. No, he was in Vietnam as far as Garth Ennis is concerned. And that makes Frank 50 years old whenever he's writing Frank.
I mean, yeah, but he's still a beast.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Punisher Max is kind of its own thing, separate from the 616, because I think he killed off the Punisher in that series.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think he was ballsy enough to be like, no, the end. Yeah.
I mean, it's only fitting for a man of his career selection.
Yeah. And Punisher the Platoon is really one of those books that's yeah, Frank was a badass Marine. This whole book is just me being oh, he's so cool. I wish I had a second lieutenant like Frank Castle. Because this being his first tour in Vietnam, this is you think being a second lieutenant, being kind of the lowest ranking officer, he would be I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. He's I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm badass at this. He knows all the questions to ask. He knows what to do and not do already. He's kind of he's new, but at the same time he's very locked on.
Okay.
He'll do what needs to be done. And I'm really excited about the whole series, and it seems there's it's kind of a dual narrative thing. In the present, there's a guy interviewing a bunch of people from Frank's platoon back in the day, and we're going back to flashbacks to back in Vietnam. And it seems he might have pissed off the wrong people back in Vietnam.
Who? Frank?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to change a few things and be no, these people killed his family, or if it's just going to be these people are just still mad from 50 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Because honestly, I would think that, since we are doing a prequel story, it could possibly set up, a friend of a friend of a friend of a cousin. You pissed them off, and it was just a domino effect to what led to, hey, you done taking all these people out. I'm going to take out what's dear to you like you did to me. And then, boom, that's the start of, the actual Punisher story.
Yeah, it could be a domino effect like that. But I can really recommend this book if you're a Punisher fan, a Marvel Max fan, or just a Marine. This is your book to read. This is Marvel being take it all. This is for you. I know we've been neglecting you guys. Here it is.
So what you say with what's going on with Marvel now, and
I'm surprised Marvel wrote this book, or Garth Ennis wrote this and Marvel was yeah, we'll publish it.
And I feel with Marvel right now, currently with what's going on, there's books that's still under their banner where they're good, and it's glad that they're not a part of whatever their main universe is.
Yeah, Max has always kind of been its own separate imprint. Mm-hmm. If it's good, it'll be in canon. If it's not, it's in the Max imprint. Jessica Jones, I think that was Max, but it stayed in the 616.
Yeah, but something like this, they could play around with it. But overall, it's just going to be a good book regardless.
Yeah. I can recommend, if you were ugh, I don't like Marvel because SJWs are ruining it, this is the anti all of that book.
It's Punisher, for God's sakes. What are you expecting?
Yeah. If you like your Punisher more grounded, this will be a little bit better than the War Machine Punisher.
Oh, okay.
I'm still looking forward to that, but this is your Punisher book for classic Garth Ennis, Frank Castle Punisher. The second book we're going to talk about is Batman White Knight #1.
So, this is what happens when a Joker becomes sane and he's like, you know what? I never actually thought about suing Batman.
You know what? He's broken a lot of rules and a lot of laws. I can sue him for police brutality.
You know what's hilarious about this? It's like that one, like everyone has that one friend who just logically think about comic book things too much. And it's like, it's a comic book, ignore it. We just, it happens because it's a comic book or because it's a cartoon or anime. Don't even try to think too much about it. This is that one friend growing up, becoming a comic book artist and like, no, I'm going to write my story of how Batman broke these rules and he needs to be accountable for his actions.
Yeah. I really like Sean Murphy's take on this. It's definitely an Elseworld story.
Yes. And I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where coming literally from like the left field where everyone knows Batman destroys a lot of things. And no one ever says it. I mean, like with all superheroes, no one ever says anything because it's like, hey, they're saving lives. And I mean, especially Batman. It's like, hey, he's saving lives. Everyone thinks about the bigger picture. But it's like, what about the people that got hurt, the damages? I mean, like, the property that was destroyed. Like when you think about, like, for instance, Batman v Superman. He has a freaking, like, Gatling gun. And he's, like, destroying trucks. And it's not like he has perfect aim. There's cars that, like, that are getting destroyed that was, like, on stand. Like, that was just in, like, the area. And it's like, what if you get up the next morning, you're like, what the hell happened to my car?
Is there Batman insurance?
Exactly.
Does Gotham have coverage for this?
And that's what I wonder, like, what kind of insurance policies do they have in Gotham? And why haven't people gotten up and left yet? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't give a damn how expensive rent is in Metropolis. I'm getting the hell out of, Gotham City. I can't deal with that. Like, just imagine you just coming up to work next day and be like, I don't know if my car is going to be there when I wake up in the morning. And even if it is there, I don't know if it's going to be in the condition that I left it.
It's almost like Chicago.
Yeah. Don't park on the street. Buy a house, get your own driveway, and live out in the suburbs so you don't have to worry about that crazy mess.
Not like Charles. Charles has to worry every day.
Yes. There's times where I'm like, you know what? I hope, there's enough damage that happens to my car where they could just cash it out as a loss, and I'll just buy me a scooter and call it a day.
Or a moped.
Or a moped.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go with the moped.
Yeah. But Batman literally driving around an unlicensed tank.
Good God. Like, Batman has been brutal, but now you being, like, shown from, like, another point of view, especially from out of all people the Joker, it's like, no. Him out of all... I mean, like, we know Batman do some shady things. Like, we can't... Sometimes... Like, we approve of Batman because he do what needs to be done. And it's like, okay, we'd rather for him to do it than us ourselves to do it. So it's like, let Batman do the dirty work. He want to make the city better, let him do that. Because Lord knows, well, I'm not going out there. I'm not trying to protect no city. I'm sorry, Gotham City, it's crazy. I can't deal with that. Oh, hell no. I'm good.
Yeah, and the GCPD also kind of not really acknowledging Batman exists.
No, and it's like when you have a guy who dresses as a bat with, like, underwear outside of his, like, long johns, and he's out here doing the crazy things, is fighting crime, and he's actually trying to protect the city. And it's like sometimes you gotta take your losses for, like, hey, he's
on our side.
He's on our side. Granted, yeah, he just ran over that poor old man. But I mean, that dude, he lived his life. Whatever. Okay? He had his time to live. But hey, he did what needs to be done. Sometimes you need to draw that line.
And the Joker's gonna draw that line.
Yeah.
He got his sanity back. And also, Batman tried to murder the Joker, like by overdosing on pills.
Yeah, that was kind of questionable.
Yeah. Like, and they got it on film too.
Oh, dude, like when I see like that chick who like filmed it and walked away, I was like, ooh.
We know that's Harley.
Uh-oh. Of course it's Harley.
Yeah.
But, like, it was just one of those things where I was like, oh, my God, Batman, what are you doing? Like you go to...
But he's doing it for, like, that unhinged reason every Batman becomes unhinged. One of the Bat family is in trouble.
Yeah.
And this time it's Alfred.
Yeah. If injustice wasn't enough, Now, once again, you have to write a story where something happens to Alfred. Leave that man alone, okay?
He's lived a long life.
I mean, that's like telling Peter Parker he should have May died.
No, it's like when you said that man getting run over by the Batmobile.
Yeah.
He's lived a long life.
Oh, no, whatever. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Alfred, he's part of the Bat family. He plays a very important part, okay? Batman wouldn't be the man dressed as a bat who he is today or tonight, whatever time you want to, see Batman do Batman stuff, if it wasn't for Alfred. I mean, Alfred didn't approve of him dressing like a bat. No one did.
Only in some timelines. Some universes.
Some timeline in universes. But this one, it's probably most likely, I can't do nothing. You're a grown man dressed like a bat. I guess I got to go with it.
Yeah. But I like Joker's kind of approach to this. He's like, yeah, Batman is like using police brutality on me. I'm gonna sue him. And we all have that one friend on social media that's like, free my friend Joker. He didn't do anything wrong.
Free my ninja Joker. He ain't do nothing.
He literally released fear toxin in the whole city. He didn't mean to.
That was by accident. They were trying to set him up. Oh, no. But I want to see how this turns out. It's hilarious to see how because what is it? After New 52, when of course, what was that, Endgame?
Yeah.
Yeah, when the Joker at the end, he's sane, and he's sitting there talking to Bruce Wayne before, he decided to go through that machine and become Batman again. It's like, what would he do if he becomes sane? Obviously, we got our answer. He'll sue Gotham City, Gotham City Police Department, and freaking Batman. And from one of the scenes in that book, one of the pages in that book, they actually succeeded in arresting him.
Yeah, because all this is actually taking place a year prior to the main story.
Yeah.
I guess the Joker in the real story is going to be Mayor.
What?
Yeah. The opening of that, he's Mayor,
what?
Jack Napier.
Yeah, which is a weird... The Jack part, I could completely under...
It's from the Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, he feels... Wait a minute, the whole name?
Yeah, Jack Napier. It's from Tim Burton's Batman.
Oh, wow. I remember the Jack, but... Wow. Well, that would make sense.
Yeah. And this does feel like a Tim Burton mixed with the animated show.
It does. Even from the animation... from the artwork I was looking at, I'm like, okay. I wish they could have done the classic
Bruce
Tim Burton. Well, not only that, but the classic Batmobile. But I realized it's been used before in Rebirth already, and it's you don't want to keep doing that Batmobile over and over again.
You also don't want to confuse everyone.
Yeah, because they're didn't he use his Batmobile in Rebirth? Which it was one of the first couple of issues of Rebirth where
the Tom King one.
Yeah, and I was just like, wow. He went to that Batmobile. It would have been more perfect in this book. He could have came up with another Batmobile.
Yeah. But is this a recommend for you?
Yes. I'm slowly getting back into comics, and honestly, that's one I want to keep up with.
Yeah. I mean, it's a recommend for me. I wasn't super blown away with it yet, but it's going to be one of 8 issues.
Yeah. And see, that's another reason. It's a short run. You already know, hey, you're 8 issues in. If you're now okay, I only have so many dollars to spend, this is coming from me. Don't spend no money on Marvel Comics. I'm not trying to boycott them or anything. It's just that I feel they're so power high where their movies are doing so well. They really just we only let people write the comics because we don't want to let it go to waste. And it's for instance, Punisher. That's still a good story. You should go over there and grab it. But it's anything in the main Marvel universe. I feel if you didn't hear anybody recommend it, don't bother buying it. I hate to say that, but it's true.
Yeah.
DC, everything they pumping out, it's going good. And then 2018 Vertigo universe.
Yeah, Vertigo. They're bringing back Milestone too.
Yeah.
With Static Shock. So that's going to be great.
And I'm curious about that. I want to know. I feel and it was funny because I was listening to another podcast called A Weekly Pull with the comic story and Robin them. And they were characters who really don't do well in single books. Why don't you do something for instance, in Japan, Shogun Jump, where they just every week they just throw in a crap ton of different chapters, and then also there's always one chapter that's a special guest chapter that's hey, try this out if you like it. Hey, look forward to the the graphic novel that's being, well, they call them the graphic novel, but like the manga that's being released, in a couple of months, where it has like 6-7 issues in it. And I think that like DC can possibly do that with some of their like unpopular characters.
Yeah, that's the way Marvel used to do it. They used to do like Tales of Suspense, Tales to Astonish, things like that, and it would be like, this is the book Thor's in, but it's not called Thor. This is the book Iron Man and Cap are in, but it's not Iron Man or Captain America. It's just Tales to Astonish. Or Tales of Suspense.
When you have multiple characters in that book, even if it's like, okay, you buy your comic book, it could be that one where it's like, I would say roughly $6.99, and you have like maybe like 4 or 5, I would say like single books, like like personal books, and you just throw them up in there. Like, okay, for instance, like DC, Martian Manhunter, Static Shock, let me see who else is not Cyborg, because I know he still have a book going on, but it's like no one is really reading Cyborg. And then you could probably do
or just do a team book, because like the new one, the Terrifics.
Yeah,
that's a book I never would have considered buying until I saw it, and I was like, maybe the first 3 issues or the first 4.
And you give these characters a chance to, I mean, like even like Captain Marvel or Shazam. Where is he at?
He hasn't had a solo book since like at forever. Really. I mean, he had a 0 issue for Justice League, and that was it.
And it's like, he's an interesting character, but you don't really want him like as a solo book. Like, what kind of story can you tell about him?
Yeah, especially without the rest of his Marvel family.
Yeah,
like Mary Marvel and all those other guys. Like Black Adam.
Like, he, as a character in the Justice League, his powers are amazing, but it's like, what story can you tell about him? Because you got to realize, like, his power set is like up there with Superman, but at the same time, it's like, what can you do with him that you haven't already done with Superman?
Yeah, especially in the New 52/Rebirth universe, where he doesn't have his supporting cast.
Yeah.
Like, they just got rid of all of that, so it's just Billy Batson.
And what you gonna say? Oh, Billy Batson, the troubles he go through as a kid? Yeah, whatever. I could just yell out Shazam and whatever I'm dealing with. Yeah, kick that to the side.
Yeah. But I think that's gonna be it for this last week's edition of Comics Overhaul.
Okay.
Yeah. So, this has been Nerd Boys Comic Blog. I'm Marco.
I'm Charles.
We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Peace.